You are now listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing you the realest information, entertainment, and truth and comedy shows around. This is Let's Talk. I don't count likes, calories, or blessings. I don't dine with snakes or bite my tongue. It is what it is. I am what I am. I am your host, Tony Williams. Shout out to my new listeners and my own ones, stay ones. All information and resources are based on the opinions of the host unless otherwise noted. All information is intended to motivate, encourage, and inspire positive change and a healthier lifestyle. Welcome once again. We have a topic here that I know everybody is talking about. Botham Jean's younger brother, accepts an Ethical Courage Award. Now, I know you're wondering, well, what problem do you have with that? Well, now let's see. Where do I start? First of all, receiving an Ethical Courage Award for hugging his brother's killer. I'm sorry, but that shit doesn't sit right with me. You're getting rewarded for being nice to a killer. It just does not compute. Now, if you guys are listening to me on YouTube, thank you for being there. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share. If you're listening on any of the podcast stations, thank you. These podcasts are downloadable, and you can listen to them anytime. So if you have to work, you can always come back and listen to me. Okay, so back to the topic at hand. It doesn't make any sense to me. And the award was given by the Texas Law Enforcement Group. That award is normally given to police officers and people of that nature. So, what do we really make of this? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. What do y'all make of this? You guys can definitely give a call because this is a live broadcast. If you would like to call up here, you can, 318-315-3971. Now, the call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance and security purposes. Your continued participation in the phone call serves as express consent to be recorded and or monitored. Okay, now, he receives this award. But, okay, this one frustrates me because I'm just not understanding this. Maybe somebody can help me understand it. I'm not sure if it's going to help, but you can still try. Now, as he's accepting this award, he says, "I am not a threat." Now, he says this while he's accepting the award from the police training group. Now, this happened in Dallas. Now, if you're not aware, his brother, Botham Jean, was killed by Amber Geiger, a former Dallas cop. Now, she was convicted. But during court, he hugged her and told her that he forgave her. And this is why they gave him this award. Now, the teenager who brought a courtroom and observers around the world of tears when he forgave the former Dallas cop who murdered his brother, Botham Jean, stepped into the spotlight again Tuesday when he accepted an award from a group that trains police officers. Brandt is 18. He received the 2019 Ethical Courage Award from the Institute for Law Enforcement Administration. The Plano-based group said John should be admired for the example he set by forgiving and hugging Amber Geiger after she was sentenced to 10 years in prison for murdering his brother. John, who lives with his parents in their native St. Lucia, used the opportunity to tell the officers in attendance at a 2-day ethics conference that they could and should do better. And it further reads, I want you all to know that I am not a threat. The young black males are not inherently dangerous or criminal, Brandt Jean said from a podium at the Institute. I implore you to champion policies and procedures that amplify the value of all lives. I insist that you encourage diverse leadership that can model inclusion and restraint. Most importantly, I ask that you remember my brother, he continued. And when you remember him, I want you to ask yourself, what are you doing to ensure there will be no other families like mine? No other little brothers that have to model ethical leadership and forgiveness of a cop whose lack of training and discipline caused them to carelessly take the life of another. It sounds all well and good. Again, I say it sounds good. But true enough, we're all supposed to be loving and forgiving, but this world is not cake, ice cream, and pudding, and unicorns and rainbows. It just does not work that way. And the example that's actually being set is not really an ethical one. It's more of a, we're willing to accept what happens to us, and we're willing to just freely forgive and forget about it. To me, that's what it stands for. And is that a good look? I don't think so. Are they giving him that award because she's a cop? Is it going to help her case? Because she has filed an appeal. But the sad part is that many of our youth is going to see this, and they're not going to understand this. Why? Because they killed his brother. Well, she killed his brother. Amber Geiger killed his brother. Now, if you want to go Bible-based, we can go Bible-based, but the forgiveness is supposed to be behind closed doors, not on a public setting. So that X's that out. Not only that, it's like when you're in school and there's a school bully. There's like a group of them. You know, there's always that main one. As long as you keep bowing down, he's going to continue to be a bully. He looks good because you continue to bow and cower down and all those things. But when you stand up to that bully, he or she knows that that is a change, that a change has come, that you are not willing to take it anymore, that you will not be degraded, belittled, beat, in this case killed, or any of the sort. And he did make a truthful statement. He had to basically model ethical. Where are their ethics? Where were their ethics at during training? After training? It just continues. I don't really think that there should have been an award. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. But it is what it is. It should not have been an award situation because it should have never happened. And clearly there is no value of lives. The man was eating ice cream. Now his little brother done forgave her and received a reward. Award, I'm sorry. But it does not make sense. I mean, Geiger, she's 31, so she's old enough to know better. She shot and killed Botham Jean on September 6, 2018, inside his apartment at the Southside Flats. She had finished her police shift, but was still in uniform when she shot him after allegedly confusing his apartment for her own and mistaking him for an intruder, she said at her trial. The fired officer testified that she heard someone inside the apartment and wanted to stop the threat. When she burst in, the 26-year-old was eating ice cream and waiting to watch a football game. That's a hell of a threat. It really is. That's just scary. A man sitting there eating ice cream waiting for a football game. Oh yes, I'm terrified. Not to mention it was not even her damn apartment. Now, everybody's talking about the hug. Now, Brandt Jean said Tuesday that he struggled with accepting the award from the institute that trains officers because he believes a lack of training led to his brother's death. He also struggled with the fame that has come from his words to Geiger in the courtroom 2 months ago. He has said he didn't realize the courtroom camera was still on and that his words were broadcast to the world. There's a shocker. Now, it was said, if you are truly sorry, Jean said to Geiger in October, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you. So really, did he speak for his brother? Because at one point they said he spoke for his brother, saying that his brother would have forgiven her. He told the convicted killer that he didn't even want her to go to prison. Bullshit. 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 I call bullshit. How can you not want the person who murdered your brother to go to prison? But he asked, can I give her a hug? Please. Now, the state district judge, Tammy Kemp, who presided over the trial, gave him the okay. The jury was long gone, and so were many spectators who had filled the benches during the trial. Geiger hesitated for just a moment, and then she rushed toward John and wrapped her arms around his neck. He put his arms around her, his hands spread across her back. Geiger has declined interview requests since beginning her sentence at Huntsville Prison immediately after the trial. Gregory Smith, director of the Institute for Law Enforcement Administration, said he was honored to present the award. We have a caller. On One Radio. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing terrific. So if I remember correctly, this week's topic is Brandt Jean, the brother of both of Jean.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
I'm here for it.
This topic here got me kind of fired up. I've been telling everyone that it doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense. How can you just accept an award for doing that when this woman killed your brother in cold blood? Now, I was reading this article to everyone from the ceremony. And when he accepted the award, this was his statement. I am not a threat. Like, really?
I wonder if that's the same thing that I was just pulling up just before I called.
Maybe so.
I want you all to know I'm not a threat. Young black males are not inherently dangerous or criminal. I implore you to champion policies and procedures that amplify the value of all lives. I insist that you encourage diverse leadership that can model inclusion and restraint. More importantly, I ask that you remember my brother, and when you remember him, I want you to ask yourself what you are doing to ensure there will be no other families like mine. No other little brothers that have to model ethical leadership and forgiveness of a cop whose lack of training and discipline caused them to carelessly take the life of another. Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. I just read that too, so I'm like a little fired up here because this is some bullshit.
So, apologies to whoever heard it for a second time in a matter of minutes. But when I saw it, I had to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Prepare myself for what I was about to say.
Yeah, because this is some bullshit. If I've ever heard some, this is some bullshit.
Bottom line is, well, yeah, it's 15 pounds of bullshit, as I like to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's truly, genuinely 15 pounds of bullshit because it makes no sense.
Right. None at all.
Now, let me say this. I'm not making excuses for anybody.
Right.
But both of Jean's family is from St. Lucia, which is somewhere in the Caribbean.
Right.
Now, I'm going to say that not everyone in the Caribbean sees racism the way we do here in America.
Right.
Now, regarding myself, obviously, as you hear my accent, you would automatically think that, I'm born and raised in America with American parents. Well, half of that is true. My parents, neither one of them were born or really raised in America. My mother's people are Jamaican, my father's people are Nigerian, but I was born and raised here in the United States. So obviously, I've seen racism firsthand. First time that I remember clearly seeing it, I think I was about 9 when we moved to Florida. So I've seen more than my healthy dose of racism.
Right. And it's not fun at all.
No. Hell no, it's not fun. And see, thing is, when I see the statement from Brandt John, there's actually 2 different things that I see. First of all, part of me wants to see a naive child, but at the same time, the naivete which we're trying to point toward young Mr. Jean gets thrown out the window because of the fact that he wants to hug the murderer of his brother.
Right. I don't
that,
get it.
All that naive shit gets thrown out the window, for real.
It does. It does. But it's interesting because also in the article it said that he had to struggle with accepting the award.
Yeah.
But this is my thing. How are you going to struggle with accepting the award if you flat out asked to hug her? You should have been hesitating there. You should have had a struggle there. Not accepting the award. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't... You see what I'm saying? This shit is not making no damn sense to me. And I don't want our people to be dumb like this.
Here's another part of it. Another part of it, which no one is quite understanding, is the lawyer.
Right.
Leslie Merritt out of Fort Worth.
Oh, Lord, yes. There's so much stuff coming up about him.
Right, and see, thing is, the stuff that's coming up about him has only really begun to rear its ugly head because of this case. Because of something which he said regarding a civil suit.
Yeah.
And see, it's the issues with the civil suit, the fact that they want to get a civil suit, which is probably where he's going to get paid most.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the issue is.
I mean, I've been feeling like that lawyer was just trying to get paid. Because that was a big case.
Yeah.
And the commission off of that...
It's truly a big case.
It is. And the commission off of that is big.
Probably the biggest case in Dallas in many, many years.
At least 40 years.
Mm-hmm. Because when I tell you everybody was talking about it...
Can't help but to. I'm not even up there in Dallas. And I've been talking about it. Just because all my family is there.
Right.
So it makes you wonder, okay, this man gets killed sitting there eating ice cream waiting for a football game to come on. Who's to say my brothers won't be next? Who's to say my sisters won't be next?
True.
So it's like, okay, and then he accepts this award. What does that teach our youth? To continue to bow down and say yes, massa? Because to me, that's what that shit is. I don't give a damn what they say. But it is. Because I feel like they're trying to make everyone be extra submissive. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it. It was a mistake. You gotta forgive us. Don't you forgive? Don't your God says forgive? And then it also makes me wonder. It's crazy.
Here's the problem with that statement in and of itself. With forgiveness. The problem with that statement itself, with the forgiveness, is I'm gonna answer that question with a question.
Okay.
Would you ever tell a Jewish person to forgive a Nazi?
Oh my gosh. You're asking too
Right?
much.
Right.
You're asking too much. But
See, but the thing is,
same thing.
exactly.
Same thing. Because for me, I said it before you called. I couldn't have done that like that. I just could not. It would if I
Right.
would have forgiven him, it was gonna take time. I probably
Right.
still wouldn't have done it. It would have took me some years because that's a real big struggle. He
I
cannot be
know.
replaced.
I know I wouldn't have done it.
I
That's not
mean,
even, and I think in my vocabulary.
and then to do it on a public stage like that, I mean, and then them giving him this award, it makes me feel like, okay, so they've given him this award. Is that going to help her appeal?
Thank you.
I mean, this is,
Thank you.
and
That was one of the things that y'all was saying too, because if you think about it, if you really think about it, right?
mm-hmm,
Forgiveness, supposedly now, I I thought wrong at first. I thought the forgiveness came before the sentencing, but the sentencing came light. But one of the things which came out in the sentencing was that everybody was talking about how both of them were so soft and he was so this and so loving that I remember two of the jurors were on Good Morning America,
mm-hmm,
and they said, well, he wouldn't want to want her to serve such a long sentence.
bullshit,
Now, see,
bullshit,
my first
bullshit.
statement to that is, well, motherfucker, he's dead, so we'll never know, will we?
Yeah, pretty much. And besides, you can't ask him.
Right, because he's dead.
Yeah, and I'm pretty
So,
sure a person in their right
One of the part
mind.
which irked my nerves, because it's like, how can you say what he would and wouldn't want when, one, y'all never met him, and two, more importantly, he's not allowed to say so himself.
Right.
So that part kind of rankled my nerves really terribly bad.
Mine too. I was
So,
pissed.
with that, it's like, we should let it go. First of all, you can't let the murder of anybody go. Second of all, when it comes to forgiveness, like I said earlier, you're not going to ask a Jewish person to forgive a Nazi. But if you think about when various people have been killed on TV, various people have been killed and they have their families on TV,
Yeah.
one of the first things you hear them say, you hear the interviewer, especially if it's local news or CNN,
Mm-hmm.
do you forgive the killer?
Hell no. That'd be my answer. Hell no. Rot in jail for all I care. Fuck that. Take his ass or take her ass to prison. But the cold part is, do you know Brandt Jean said he really did not want her to go to prison?
Yeah.
What kind of bullshit is that?
That's why I'm disgusted with him.
Like, I don't understand. It's like, okay, love is one thing, forgiveness is one thing, but common sense is another.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, where's the common sense? And it makes me wonder, what exactly did his mother teach him? What did his father teach him? I mean,
I don't think it's the mother. I think it may be the father.
you think so?
Yes, because after the case was over with, the father was shown on video saying he forgave Amber too, and then maybe one day he'd like to be her friend.
That's that bullshit.
But the mother said that there was a whole bunch wrong and a lot of corruption in the Dallas law enforcement system.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
why I say it's the father, not the mother.
True. But it just made me wonder, what was he taught? Because the majority of the things of how we feel and how we look at things is taught.
By the mother or the father.
Right. So it's like, what are you teaching? Because we're not teaching our kids that bullshit. We're just not finna do it.
I know I'm not.
Hell no. I can't do the stupidity. Because to me, that's stupidity. And
Right.
I feel like this shit is going to help her get off, to be honest about it. But because they don't give anybody, who gave him the award, they give it normally to police officers or firefighters or something like that. So why pick him? When there's been other situations, other cases to where people have said that they've forgiven, they didn't get no award.
Well, see, here's the thing. They know in this case, I think
It's gonna help.
they had to do something different and somewhat drastic.
Yeah, to make themselves look good. Cover their ass. Fuck that. Saving face, that is some bullshit. Own your shit. Y'all fucked up. Your officer fucked up. Make that bitch do that time. And in my point of view, Brandt fucked up by saying that. He forgive her. He fucked up when he hugged her. Because now that shit seems acceptable, quote unquote.
Yeah.
We're not accepting that shit.
Let me say it like this. Not only does it seem acceptable, but if you consider exactly what happened, he hugged her.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at this from the mind of a racist redneck.
Okay.
Let's call him Billy Joe.
Okay.
Okay. So, Billy Joe is chilling with, I don't know, I would say Ray Ray, but that's not really a redneck type name.
Say Buck.
Buck, okay.
Let's go Buck.
Billy Joe was chilling with Buck. So, if Billy Joe is chilling with Buck, and Billy Joe says, "Hey, Buck, what do you want, Billy Joe?" Guess what? What is it? You know that there blood cop, the one who killed the guy in the apartment? Yeah. Well, did you know? They said they put it to trial, and when they put it to trial, they gave him 10 years, but she's a cop, so she's probably going to get out in about 5, and maybe 3 with good behavior.
Hell yeah.
But you know what happened? What happened? Excuse me. The younger brother happened to say he forgave the cop. What? He forgave the cop? Yeah, he forgave the cop. So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me this little boy, he's 18, so he's not fully a man. This cop, this little boy, he happened to say he forgave the cop. The white lady cop who shot his brother? Yeah? What a dumb nigger.
Yeah.
He's so goddamn dumb. You know what we're going to go do? We're going to go kill some more of these motherfuckers because all they're going to do is forgive us.
Yeah.
Guess what? Excuse me. That means they're not stopping a damn thing. So if they're not stopping a damn thing, guess what? Let's go kill some more of these motherfuckers because these motherfuckers aren't going to do shit to us.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, go and get Roland and the boys. And we're going to go do some bad things.
Hell yeah. It's like an example.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, they ain't gonna do shit, so shit, we can keep doing it.
Exactly. They're like, now I'm done using that voice. These dumb niggas ain't gonna do nothing. They're not gonna buck back. They're not gonna buck back. They're not gonna do nothing to try to hurt us. So since they're not gonna do nothing to try to hurt us, guess what? Let's go kill some more niggers.
That's the gist of it, because that's what that is. And that's the sad part.
That brings us to another problem, too.
Quite a few.
The other problem it brings us to is the fact that quote-unquote, as black people have so many thugs and gangsters. Want to be thugs and gangsters?
Of course.
They that want to bang on each other, bang over a block which they don't own no property on. They barely paying rent on time.
Right.
But yet, hey man, it's my block. Oh, this is my block. What you doing on my block? Why are you mad at that person? You want to be mad at somebody? You want to do something? Go kill a racist. Case in point, George Zimmerman. Kill Trayvon Martin. And now, in the last week, has the nerve to say he's going to sue Trayvon Martin's family.
What kind of fuckery is this shit? Sue her for what? She ought to be suing his ass. Oh my God. This shit gets worse. But see, shit like this, with him forgiving and getting an award and shit, I really feel like there's going to be more bloodshed. Because they're gonna feel more comfortable doing it. I mean, because like you said, about asking somebody Jewish to forgive a Nazi, ain't nobody asked no KKK member to forgive Ray Ray for being black.
Well, see, here's the thing.
I
Why would
mean,
a KKK member forgive Ray Ray for anything?
because they got enough damn sense not to. Even though they're assholes and they wrong as shit. But ain't none of them motherfuckers forgiving for none of the shit they do to black people or the Mexican people or any of the minorities. And the sad part is it's so many of us and other races that actually the white people are the minority now.
Well, see, but here's the thing. White people numerically may be the minority. The thing is, I think by 2030 or 2035, they will be the true minority.
Yep.
Ask me how I know.
How?
Their birth rate
True.
is becoming lower and lower and lower.
Yeah.
And because their birth rate is going so low, they're going to be in a negative.
Maybe that's why they're trying to kill all the black people they can.
That's a very strong part of it, yes.
I mean, they trying to kill all the black people. They trying to keep the Mexicans out. They doing too motherfucking much. They need to sit their ass down somewhere because, to be honest about it, white people are lazy as fuck. Not all. So I want my listeners to understand. Not all. Some. And y'all know y'all got some lazy ass motherfuckers in y'all family because we all do.
Mm-hmm.
It's no secret.
This is where the problem came in. The problem has come in because these same lazy folks that we speak about,
Mm-hmm.
the same lazy folks that we speak about are the same lazy folks that some of them are in control or have been given control over the years, over the generations.
Yeah.
That's where the problem comes in.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just...
So think about it. If that's where it comes in, they are not going to do anything to relinquish that power.
Hell no. They want to take that shit to their grave.
Yeah, exactly. Now you get it.
Shit.
They're going to take it to their grave. That's
Hell
what they
yeah.
want to do.
Yeah.
They want to take it to their grave because they know without that power, they're as good as dead.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's really and truly look at this. Let's go back some years when there was slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is the main reason for slavery?
Because they didn't want to work. Free labor.
So what does that make? What did that make them?
Lazy folks.
Uh-huh.
The thing is,
And violent.
well, yeah, lazy, violent. But
Yes. Yes.
some people will say, well, it makes them kind of smart.
No, it don't.
But you know there are some people who would say that.
Yeah, of course. I've heard people say that, but it actually does not make them smart. it makes them be not self-sufficient. Because
Right.
if you needed our grandmas and great grandmas to wash your dishes, wash your clothes, cook your food, what's the point of you getting mad if your husband fucked her? She was doing all the wifely duties. The kids are being taken care of. The field is being taken care of. Everything's being taken care of.
That's fact.
So, I mean, let's look at this. But y'all are the ones who were beating on the very people who took care of you, who took care of their families for generations. Now let's roll that forward. We're still being punished. We're still being mistreated. And we're expected to do this same bullshit as this little boy and forgive. It's not going to work. All they're doing is pissing people off, to be honest about it.
Let me say this, and this is something which I believe in fully. People talk about it and talk about it a lot. But there's only one thing which is going to change it.
Yep. And I believe that's coming. I really believe it's coming because it's like a dog. You done had this dog for 2-3 years, and for 2-3 years you done abused the dog. You didn't want to feed him. You barely gave him scraps. He ain't had no shots. He ain't had no bath in 2 years. But you expect for him to protect you, to love you, and to be your companion. So I rolled that over into society because that's pretty much what we're getting treated like. Like, I mean, just stray dogs in the street. That it's okay to kill us. That it's okay to abuse us. It's okay to lock us up for bullshit. It's okay to get rid of us because you don't want to look at us. It's the same difference.
This is what is going to have to happen before that changes. What has to happen before that changes is something has to be turned on its head.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has to be turned on its head, literally.
Yeah. That's the only way. Everything is going to have to get flipped entirely upside down for people to actually wake up.
Because, see, it's the power structure which still makes people believe that they, as in the colonizers, as in those lacking melanin, are untouchable. And as long as they still have that mindset in mind, guess what?
Yeah. It's going to be like that.
Continue to do the same bull that they do.
And at the same time, if all of us's, yeah, I know that I just made that up. If all of us's actually got our mind frame situated properly and actually think logically in terms of knowing our own worth and what it is about us, I mean, if that doesn't change, then they're still going to be bowing down to Mouser. Yes, Mouser, I'm sorry, I forgive you. Yeah, I know you chopped my arm off, but it's okay. You didn't mean no harm. Fuck that. Bitch, go to prison. Gone up in there and get ass raped by Bubba and them. See how it feel.
And as I said before, you know where a lot of that comes from.
Of course. But the shit just does not make sense. And this whole situation is getting very fucking messy. And it's going to get way worse before anybody even thinks about it getting better. Because we have too many people who just bow their head and, be all extra humble and be like, no, it's okay. It's okay. They didn't mean it. I forgive them. It's okay. They made a mistake. Bitch, you knew that wasn't your motherfucking apartment, hoe. You been living in that motherfucking apartment for how long? You been coming home to that same motherfucking apartment for how long? You put all that shit you got in that apartment? How long ago? You signed the lease. You picked up the
Let's also be
keys.
real about one thing.
I mean, goddamn.
I truly believe her and Bo was smashing. I don't care what nobody says.
I don't know.
Let me tell you why I say that.
Why?
See, number one, I don't know whether you saw the video. There was a video which leaked. Someone from across the way in the apartment showed her banging on the door saying, "Open up, open up, open up." Now, if you are banging on the door yelling, "Open up, open up, open up," guess what? That means you know you're not at your fucking door.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, for him to be sitting down eating ice cream, because there was another video which a woman showed. She opened the door and said, "These doors are weighted. I'm opening the door, and you can see how the door is open. I'm going to let the door go." She showed her hand on the door and showed that there was nothing, that her foot wasn't on the door. No, she let the door go. As she let the door go, it closed.
Yeah.
Because of the weight in the door, which means Bo's door was not slightly open as she had claimed.
It's a lot of shit is not as she claimed.
Right, which means for her to go in and Bo is sitting down eating ice cream, that means that she knew Bo and Bo knew her. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
And personally, here's another piece of this thought process which a lot of people are not paying attention to.
What's that?
Now, I believe they were smashing.
Okay.
I believe, and this is something that I believe in very strongly, don't care who don't like it. I believe Bo found out about Amber and her partner, the Mexican dude.
Yeah.
And I believe Bo said, "Look, Amber, you can't be doing me and doing him. That's nasty. You can't be doing that. And if you're going to be with him, that's your business, but you're not going to be with me. You cannot have chocolate and the burrito. Chocolate and burritos don't mix."
Right. Right. But I mean, this whole shit, this whole shit is like a fucking charade to me. I mean, what's really going on?
Well, see, the thing is, that's what's really going on.
I wouldn't have took that damn award. They could have took that award and shoved it up their ass.
Well, see, the problem with him and the award, I'm glad you actually steered back toward that. The problem with him and the award is that that's going to help to bring money toward their foundation.
Right.
Which brings me to another point. Because apparently Bo was the successful one who left St. Lucia, who came to America to, get a decent job. I wonder if they had insurance on him.
That's a good question. Hopefully they did. But
and especially with S. Lee Merritt.
Yeah.
The attorney. Who's more into civil suits. There was an exchange she had with Tariq Nasheed.
Okay.
And in that exchange, she was talking about going into a civil suit. And Tariq said, so it is somewhat about the money. And I was like, oh, dang. Really?
Called his ass out.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Folks need to be called out on their bullshit. And this bullshit here, I'm calling this shit out. I really am. Because, I mean, all the ethical leaders that we've had, they didn't get none of that shit.
Well, see, but here's the thing. They didn't get none of that shit because they wasn't kissing no police officer's ass.
Bingo. Hell, wanting to hug her and tell her, he forgive her and talking about he don't want her to go to prison and shit.
That's 15 pounds.
Man,
shit.
Who you telling? Motherfucker need X-Lax dealing with that bullshit. It's all bullshit, and I really believe that this is going to help her with her appeal, because any judge is going to look at this and take it into account, because it's out there. Well, the family forgave. They really didn't want her going to prison.
Mm-hmm.
They said that Botham didn't want her
Mm-hmm.
locked up, that he would have forgiven her. So why not let her out? Why not, go with what the family said and let's just,
The thing is, when that happens,
all hell gonna break
it's
loose.
going to make some things uglier than shopper ranks.
Who you telling? Because that's gonna be some bullshit in itself, and people are not gonna like that. They don't understand. They're playing with people's emotions with this, because this is over a life lost. And you gonna kiss these motherfuckers' ass, the very motherfuckers who was supposed to been protecting and serving, but killed your brother, and then turn around the people who supposedly trained her and other officers. I wouldn't want shit coming from them. You motherfuckers can't do your damn job. You didn't do that shit right. Then what the fuck was wrong with Amber Geiger if y'all did y'all job properly? Everybody along the way fucked up. And instead of everybody along the way getting their just desserts, everybody along the way is actually saving face and covering their ass.
That's it.
The whole shebang, all of it. From the judge on down, because we already know the judge and old girl, what was her name? The one that's the back, the judge, but is the
Tammy Kemp.
Okay, I remember her name. But the cop, the black cop who she was in college with. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, what is her name?
The cop that who was in college with?
The cop that went to college and who's in that association with Tammy Kemp.
The one who's now the chief of police.
Yes, her. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Her. Now, all the way down, there are connections that are being overlooked.
No, they're not being overlooked. The thing is, I've seen all those connections. I've seen every last one. I'm like,
Yeah,
but here, see the link here, see the link here.
But see, this is what I'm saying. We're not missing it. But who needs to be recognizing it and calling it out is not. They're overlooking it on purpose. Let's say accidentally on purpose, because that's the way I felt Amber Geiger did him. She killed him accidentally on purpose.
No, she killed him on purpose, period.
No, the reason why I say it like that is because, true enough, she did it on purpose, but she's claiming accident. So accidentally on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say that. Because she thought it wasn't, quote unquote, her apartment. So that brings the accidentally. Now, we all know that she's full of shit. We all know that the Dallas Police Department is full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
We can throw the judge in there. We can throw the police chief in there. We can throw this funky ass group that gave this child this award. We can throw them all in that motherfucking category together because they're taking care of each other. They don't give a fuck about nobody else. They pretend to, but they don't give a fuck about nobody else because they're protecting and serving each other. The sleight of hand type bullshit. Throw rocks, hide your hands, and then all your friends say, no, she didn't do it.
Right.
That's all this shit is. Nobody wants to lose their job because, truth be told, if everyone along the way leading up to Amber Geiger were to be called out on their bullshit, they would have to either get fired or whatever.
Right.
They don't want to do that. So they rather cover up, they rather hide, lie, cheat, and everything else.
Absolutely.
And they're going to continue to do this until, like you said, shit gets flipped upside down on their damn head. But all of them are accountable for this. All of them. From the person who accepted her into the police academy all the way down. I know that's being a little tough, but it's the truth. Because this bullshit here, man.
That's not being tough, that's being real.
Well, yeah, but a lot of folks tell me I'm mean anyway, so I'm like, what the fuck ever. I don't care, but right is right. But all the way down.
Fuck being mean. Fuck what anybody says about being mean.
Right.
We're looking at real life situations here.
We gotta think logically on this shit, because if not, we'll be willing to take wooden fucking nickels. And I'm not taking no wooden fucking nickels. I can't pay shit with that. I already don't trust the police.
Brings us to something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
As you're talking about bringing someone to wooden nickels.
Mm-hmm.
And just accepting anything.
Right.
Consider the mess that the country is looking like right now.
Oh my God, yes.
The thing is, I have a saying, and it becomes more and more relevant every day. And that saying is, Trump's election has influenced
the nation.
Well, no, it influenced his supporters to embrace their inner racists.
Of course it did. He did it on national TV.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
See, that's why when you see all these people saying, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" But they only do it to black people.
Right. They don't do it to each other. Because if they were doing it to each other, they'd know their kids was making bombs in their rooms.
Mm-hmm.
They'd know they done joined some bullshit overseas and got mixed up in some shit. They pay more attention to what's going on with people of color than they do their own. They get away with murder, literally.
Yeah. Can I stop you with the people of color phrase?
Of course.
I saw something last night or the night before. It was an Indian dude at UC Berkeley. And somebody was recording him, and I don't think he knew he was being recorded. So they asked him, they said, "So, what is it you don't like about black people?" "Oh man, they get on my fucking nerves, blah 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 blah." It's like, okay, so what do you really not like about them? They're just fucking black. I'm like,
oh damn.
Yeah.
But that is the mindset.
This is a red dot Indian. So I'm watching this.
Wow.
And I'm like, does this dude not even know he's being recorded right now?
If he did, he just didn't give a fuck.
And you know what? Think about it. See, the reason why I brought that up, consider this fact. He's quote unquote a person of color. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
If he's a person of color and he's saying some shit like that about another group of color, people of color and people who are not black are not the same. They are not the same. They never will be the same. That's
True.
why we need to stop using the phrase people of color. Because trust me, they're not.
You got a
the
point
same.
there.
There are people like this Indian fellow that I'm talking about.
That's true.
You know, even though it's a lot of the suffering and a lot of the things that black people have gone through that has paved the way for quote unquote people of color to come over here and get more rights. That's the thing which he's not understanding. You getting that?
Yeah. Makes sense though, because I mean, when you think about it, how many black people out there don't like black people?
But you know what? There's a lot of black people who don't like black people.
Right.
Here's the issue with that. We have been conditioned by divide and conquer tactics to not like each other.
Right. There you go.
We just woke up one day and said, fuck other black people. No.
No, it happened gradually. Over time. It happened. Little bit by little bit.
Right. Little bit by little bit.
And it's accepted.
Right. Sadly accepted.
Yeah. I mean, all of this bullshit is spoon fed.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do a little toddler. You know that
Yeah.
you know that little motherfucker don't want no damn carrots. But little by
Right.
little,
He's
you
going to accept the carrot.
right.
That's what that is. You're right.
But that's how it happens. That's why I always say, um, racism is not. It's not. Nobody's born with it. It's taught.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely taught. Matter of fact, I saw a video. Excuse me.
Mhm.
It was earlier this year. And when I saw the video, it showed a little girl who was still in her like in the crib or whatever. Could have been no more than 2. And her mother was saying something to her and was saying, a black person? A black person did it? And I'm like, really? That's what you're teaching the babies?
Yeah, that's what they're teaching them.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do because babies are sponges. They're gonna soak up everything.
Exactly.
And if that's all they know, then that's all they know. And then they don't know any better until they get older. Some of them, until they get older and decide this is some bullshit. I'm not feeling this. This is not right. But until then, they're pretty much stuck with it because it's all they know.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that shit needs to be broken up because I think that's why it drives them crazy when their daughters or their sons end up with someone who's black or of another race.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why it irks them so damn bad because they're like, you fucking up our bloodline. Y'all bloodline been fucked up.
But you know what?
Ain't had
Here's
shit
the
to do
thing,
with
though.
us.
They may say that it's fucking up their bloodline, but on the other hand, it's not fucking up their bloodline because it's our blood which is actually going to give them what they need to survive. Because if it ain't for us, they're done.
Yeah. Because they
Think about it.
don't do shit. They
If
don't know how to
it
do
ain't
shit.
for us, it's over.
Yeah. I mean, that's what that is. Nobody wants to accept that, but it's the truth. But this is how we have room to even be having this talk about him, this child accepting this award for forgiving and being nice and after they done killed his brother. That's what makes room for shit like this. It is. It is. So I tell everybody, something happened to me, you better not. I will come back and hunt you. Ooh. Because that is never going to be how I feel.
Right.
It's a common sense thing here. Do I want to die? Hell no. Do I want to die sitting at home, sitting there eating ice cream, waiting for my Dallas Cowboys to come on? Hell no.
Right.
Do I want this shit to happen to my siblings or my children? Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way about them. Because I'm be the first one to stand up and say, you motherfuckers is lying. They'd probably put my ass out the damn courthouse. Because I would have been, woo-wee, man. She'd have been all kind of lying bitches. I'm serious. Because I could not stand it. I didn't even watch the video of him accepting the award because I couldn't. It turned my stomach to think about watching it.
But I still watched it.
I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I don't know. I just could not do it.
It wasn't like I was just focused on it.
Yeah.
I heard the audio, and I was like, wow, this is insane.
Right. But I just couldn't do it.
But you know what?
The headline was enough for me.
The reason why I did it is because realistically, there's a bunch of coons in the world. And the reason why I say there's a bunch of coons in the world, and I hate to say this, but one of them is my stepfather.
Oh, goodness.
See, Sanford, where Trayvon Martin was killed,
Uh-huh.
is like 10 to 15 minutes away from where I grew up in Florida.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah. We were in Altamont Springs and Longwood, which is like I said, 10 to 15 minutes away from Sanford.
Right.
So I remember one day say, but I was kind of heated about it. And then he said something kind of coolish, and I was like, yeah, let me back up. This is my stepfather. I'm going to let him make it.
Right. You didn't roast him.
No, I didn't. I
Okay.
really didn't. I wanted to.
Good for you.
Thing is, his youngest daughter, my baby sister Melissa, she knows how I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Melissa knows.
Yeah.
Melissa knows I don't care and I don't have a filter.
You're
and
right.
I actually told her, I said, you know, I'll let your dad make it because we was talking about Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin, and he said something about Trayvon Martin being in the wrong.
What?
And that's why I said he's a coon.
What the fuck kind of shit? What kind of fuckery is that? How the fuck was he?
Like I said.
Damn.
That's why I called the man a coon. Mind you, he's been in my life since I was like 5 or 6 years old. But I say what I said.
Wow. Wow, really? Now I could understood if he said that about do you know about the story about the 3 black kids that broke into these people's house and the homeowner shot and killed I think one of them and injured the other. Now they were in the wrong because they broke into this man's house.
Right.
So they deserve what they got.
They deserve to get shot.
Right. But
if you break into somebody's house, you break into my house, guess what? I got something for you.
Blast your ass. But
Right.
that makes more sense. That's common sense. They were in the wrong. How the fuck is Trayvon Martin in the wrong? Just like how the fuck was Botham Jean in the wrong? You see what I'm saying? Or,
And see, thing is, for the people who even fix their mouth and say,
excuse me.
Botham Jean was in the wrong, I'm like, y'all are dope.
They own that bullshit is what they own.
Yeah, because I was stunned to hear people saying, yeah, how's he in the wrong? He in his own house. He ain't doing nothing.
Right. So a person being in their own house, minding their own business, not bothering anybody's in the wrong. Isn't that what society wants?
That's what that part of society wants.
Like, what the fuck? It's almost like people's brains have been fried.
But see, once again, that spills back to make America great again.
When the fuck was America ever great? This is what I want to know.
Exactly. See, thing is,
I hate hearing that.
see, that also, if you think about it,
It's racist.
of course it's racist. It's been racist from day one.
Because it's the era that they're talking about.
You have to understand, that legitimately came from if you think about it, came all the way from people getting sour that Obama was president. Think about it. Think about it for a second. Just think about it.
Yeah.
Obama, even though he really didn't do much for black people.
Mm-hmm. Say that again.
Black face.
Yeah. That was a pacifier. They gave a pacifier.
That's all that was.
That we're gonna pacify these niggers.
But consider this. For those who don't realize he was a pacifier, because he had the cool moments. He had the cool moments.
Yeah, but you have to look at it as a whole. Not just this piece and that piece.
Think about this. When you look at it as a whole, when you're looking at the cool moments, when you're looking at the fact that that's a black man, and you're looking at a country that is still not used to having a white person, not used to having a black person shown as the man in charge of the whole country.
Right.
That's where people got into their feelings.
They need default. Honestly,
think about it.
Yeah.
This country, as we know it, wants people of minority, especially black people who were historically slaves and subservient to them, to be subservient to them once again.
Bullshit, I'm not finna do it.
But that's what they want.
I'm not that niglet.
I understand that.
I'd be damn.
Think about it. Why do you think they going around saying, "Where's your papers?" That's basically what they asking people to think about it.
Yeah.
Where's your papers? What are you doing? Where is this? Where is that? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the thing is, and the sad part is when you look at it, while they're doing all of that, they need to go back to them lies they told in the history books about Columbus discovering America and all that bullshit, and them bringing us here. Motherfuckers, we've been here. We were the one who colonized this motherfucker. That's why y'all enslaved a nigga. Because y'all wanted us to do the shit for y'all. Y'all saw that we could do it for ourselves.
But see, here's the thing even with that. Remember, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, who are the people who write history?
That's laughable.
The people who've done the bullying.
Yeah. And they wanted to turn out the way they wanted to sound.
Absolutely. So that's why they tell them the damn lies.
I got put out of class countless times when it came to that.
Yeah.
Like, for real. I could not hold my tongue. I don't know what it was that drove me, but it was like my ears were so tuned.
It's called you knew it was bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. And I did call I've been calling bullshit since I was a little kid. That's probably why I stayed in a little bit of trouble because of my mouth, but hey.
Well, yeah.
Because you know my mouth. You know me in life. So you know how I am. And I can't just sit there.
That's the reality of the situation, though. Thing is, you know it's bullshit. You've seen the bullshit.
Yeah.
So, of course, you're going to call it out because you know they're like, well, never question this, never question the teacher and things of that nature.
Fuck that. See, my thing was, the point of questioning is to learn. A teacher's job is to teach and answer questions. So it's like with all of this shit mixed up in this one big fucking stock pot, we have a cesspool of a fucking stew with Trump running it, and America is going to shit because of it. It already was on its way to hell. It's been that way for centuries because of what's being done. But at the same time, shit is getting worse. And we end up with this Botham Jean situation. Trayvon Martin. What was her name? Sandy? I'm sorry. Sandra. Yes. I've seen so many freaking names.
Yeah. The thing is,
it's so many names.
Philando Castile.
Yes.
Terrence Crutcher.
There you go. Yes, that's another one. I mean, it's so many.
Eric Garner. And see, the Terrence Crutcher murder, that's one that kind of touches me too. Because Terrence Crutcher, big black dude like myself.
Yeah.
He was well dressed in a friggin' suit.
They probably hated that fact.
Matter of fact, his card broke down. They pulled up on him.
Oh, shit.
And apparently he got out the car. Now, the woman who actually got him, her husband was flying the helicopter above the situation. And I said, "Oh yeah, he looks like a big bad dude."
Oh my God.
No, he really said that. I don't even have to make that up. He said that.
Wow. Okay.
Because you could hear the audio.
Yeah. That is some sick shit right there.
It is.
It really is. I mean, damn. This shit has to stop.
But I know the strategy to make it stop.
Oh, I know you do. I know you do. I do too. But the thing is, I really feel like, okay, they want this race war. It's going to pop off. Sooner or later, it's going to pop off. There's no stopping that. But the thing is, you know how little kids are outside playing and one throws a rock or something and break a window? And everybody else is like, well, we don't know what happened. We just going to go with what this person said. It's almost like that. And if you the one who throws the rock, but 4 other kids that's been throwing rocks, you're going to be the one who get caught. That right there is the thing, because if this race war breaks out, who's going to get caught up in it? They're going to go on a slaughter fest because they're waiting for this.
I'm going to say it like this.
It's an excuse for them to kill us, to be honest about it.
And you know what?
They're going to point the finger. See, look. Told you they were aggressive. I told you that they were killers. I told you that we needed to get rid of them. I told you. Look. But what about your bullshit you've been doing for the last 40 goddamn years?
Well, what I was about to say is, guess what? When they make those excuses, it's going to be our time to return the favor.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who thinks otherwise better pay attention.
They better.
I'm just saying.
These folks better wake up, because there's going to be more Botham jeans and everything else.
Well,
It's not going to stop no time soon, because they're on a roll. We're not killing each other fast enough for them.
right.
Now, I want my audience to know, Richard and I are not racist. We're only stating facts.
That's it. Just facts. Just the honest facts.
We don't hate anyone. What we do hate is the racist behavior, undertones, treatment, and injustices that keep happening. That's what we hate. By no means do we dislike white people. We don't. But we are stating facts.
I dislike injustice.
Right.
I dislike people getting away with stuff for no reason.
Right. Getting a slap on the damn wrist.
Yeah.
But if your child is hungry and steal a pack of hot dogs, they're going to try him as an adult, like he done murdered somebody.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, the thing is, on the other hand, if there's other children who have the complexion for the protection, shout out to Paul Mooney.
Huh. Hello.
Those children will end up not going to prison or not going to jail because the judge will say something like, I don't feel like he would do well behind bars, or
He's a good kid.
it would stifle his development or some crap like that.
It would ruin his college dreams.
Those are things that you hear people say.
Yeah, it is. I done read too many articles, watched too many of those videos where they do that. But let it be a shade darker skin up in there, it's finna be a damn problem.
You're right.
They finna throw the book at you. They finna throw the candle holder, candlesticks. They finna throw tomatoes, and I'm talking about they finna throw everything at you for something very fucking minor.
Well, see, the thing is, remember this. They say slavery ended in 1865.
No, it didn't.
Slavery just got remixed. It never ended.
Right.
That's
Right.
all it was the remix.
Yeah. They had to find another way.
Uh-huh.
And I do believe that's one reason why they definitely don't like us, because they can't necessarily control us.
Yeah.
Some they can, and they get a kick out of that shit. But for the most part, we're quote unquote uncontrollable.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what makes us a threat, because they cannot mentally, emotionally, and physically control us anymore. So going out, creating these apps, creating the internet, and all of that shit, that's just another way of doing slavery as well. Have them striving for something they'll never have. Have them fighting amongst themselves. Have them killing each other over something that's being said. or whatever the case may be.
You know what I would love to do?
What's that?
And sometime next year I'm going to do it in 2020.
What's that?
What I want to do is I want to go somewhere and talk to some gang dudes.
Okay. You want to ask some questions?
Yeah, ask questions. I'm gonna say, why are you banging on this dude? Why you fighting him?
It's a valid question.
You want to fight somebody who basically is your homie in all reality, because
In the same situation you in.
he's not your enemy.
Right. But that's the way they want us to look at it.
True. But see, thing is, that's when you work on their mind.
Right. We have to plant those seeds, and it's not enough of us planting those positive seeds.
Well, let's start somewhere.
True.
See?
Effort is better than not.
Right? You start with planting the positive seeds, as you stated.
Yeah.
Once you start with planting the positive seeds, then people will begin to think. Once you have them thinking,
True.
it's like, wait a minute. What he's talking about makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole mindset needs to be adjusted.
It does. I mean, some serious training, and I don't know, because majority of them are brainwashed, so you would have to undo that first.
Exactly, and that's one of the first steps.
Yeah. They're brainwashed to believe whatever the box says or whatever the radio says, and who's saying these things that they're listening to.
Now think of this. Just like with Republicans and Democrats, red and blue.
Right.
Republicans, Democrats, red and blue.
Mm-hmm. And you know something?
Bloods, red and blue.
You know something that's interesting though?
What's that?
Did you know that back in the day, majority of African American people were not Democrats? They were Republicans?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the racists were Democrats.
That was changed by LBJ, Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yes.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yes.
He changed it. He said, by the end of such and such, I'm gonna have all these niggers voting Democrat for the next 100 years. His words, not mine.
And that's what pretty much happened.
Yep.
It's just, it's all fucked up. It's all crazy, and it leads people to think that right is wrong and wrong is right.
This is the one thing which a lot of people are not understanding. Yeah, it's, they switched from Democrat to Republican, but let's be honest about something here.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
What is the difference between a Republican and a Democrat right now for a black person's eyes?
For a black person's eyes, I would have to say that, well, most of them go on race, to be honest about it.
Okay.
Most of them actually roll on race. They'll
Let
probably
me break it
lie.
down to you so that way you can hear exactly what I mean when I ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the difference between a Republican and a Democrat is, how do you like your racism? You didn't expect me to go there. I know you didn't. But see, think about it. If the question is, how do you like your racism? Do you like your racism? Do you like it thinly veiled? Or out in the open?
For me, it's got to be out in the open because I want to know what the hell I'm dealing with. I'd rather know than not know.
Based on your statement right there, you said it's got to be out in the open.
Yeah, it needs to be.
So that way you know what you're dealing with.
Right.
If that's the case, based on that alone, that means that you would be cool with the Republicans.
Yeah, probably so.
Because Republicans are always out in the open with their shit.
Yeah, they are.
You
They
know?
don't give a fuck.
Because they literally don't give a fuck.
No. Democrats are the ones that's trying to hide and cover and duck and sneak and all that shit.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
And see, thing is, Democrats automatically think because you're black, you owe them your vote.
Not.
If you really think about it, what has a Democrat really done to give you their vote? Now, Republicans flat out, they'll tell you, well, we don't give a fuck about you anyway.
But we'll do this.
Hell, they'll barely do it. And
Yeah.
the thing is, Republicans openly don't give a shit about your vote. They don't. They're like, fuck you.
Like, we're going to win anyway.
Or that's what they believe in many cases.
Mm-hmm. And I know the listeners are like, wait a minute, what the hell? Where are they going with this now? Like I always say, everything is tied into everything. You cannot separate everything. Because somewhere along the line, it is connected. If it was not connected, it would not be a factor.
Mm-hmm.
But it all leads to the same issues that we currently have.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
the thing is, we're always going to have these issues because of the way things were done.
Right.
And what's funny is people say, well, you know, I'm not racist. I've got black friends. I mean,
I hate that.
And I'm
I hate hearing
that. I think, you know what? That's cool, but check this out. That's when I asked him, you know, I had a friend, he once told me, I don't see color. I love that statement. I love to hear that statement because it cracks me up.
It does.
Why it cracks me up?
Because you ain't got a choice but to fucking see color.
Right.
Unless your ass is blind.
No, but see, thing is, the minute somebody says I don't see color, you know what I tell them?
What's that?
If you don't see color, as you're driving down the street, and you see a red light, what do you do?
Yes. Yes. You get them good with that one.
Yeah. Do you go through a red light? Well, no, I stopped. Then, motherfucker, you see color.
That's just like I told this chick one time. She was talking about, I forgot what her statement exactly was, and it was out at the hospital. What was so killing about it? Around a bunch of sick, elderly black people. They were looking around when she was talking, and she was, you know, just going on a little tirade about black people, this, that, and the other, and how lazy and violent. She was white. This the kidding part. I looked at her, I said, excuse me, ma'am. She said, what? I said, do you realize you're colored too? What do you mean? What are you talking about? I said, can you go in a grocery store or Walmart or anywhere and buy a box of crayons without a white color in it? Hell no. So what is that whole entire box called? Crayons.
Yep.
What is the kids' term for it? Colors.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not colored, why the fuck is there a white crayon in that goddamn box? Why do you have to go and ask for a white or a black shirt if you don't see it? I mean, folks are not using their entire brain.
In a totally different way than I actually thought you'd go with that one.
Yeah. See, I got you too. You got me. I had to get you back.
Right, but see, the thing is, what I would have told her is, you know what? You're colored too. What do you mean I'm colored? Well, man, let me break it down to you like this. When you're embarrassed, you turn red.
Hell yeah.
Cold, you turn blue.
Yes.
And green, you turn purple.
Uh-huh.
But you want to call me colored?
We're not changing our colors.
Exactly. My shade don't change.
Yes, I love that.
You're trying to tan because you want to be like me, even though you won't admit it.
Yeah, that shit right there drives me insane. If you dislike us so much because because of the shade of our skin, why are you trying to look like us? Why are you trying to walk like us? Why are you trying to talk like us?
I think that's what it is that they hate us because they ain't us.
Then why the hell abuse us? If you're going to adore us like that, then fucking adore us from a goddamn distance.
The thing is, I think with them, they wish they could, you know what I'm saying?
But, I mean, it's like we all have to live in this world together. Ain't nobody fucking going to Mars. Because NASA's never been to the fucking moon. So I don't see how the fuck y'all gonna go and live on another motherfucking planet if all that bullshit was a lie. It's not happening.
That shit was faker than WWE.
Who you telling? Who you telling? But then we're supposed to believe that all these people that are in leadership is supposed to be there to speak for us. How can you speak for us? How can you make laws for us? How can you do any of this for us when you don't give a fuck about us? And it's clear. Because all the people that kill us, what happens to them? A slap on the fucking wrist.
Mm-hmm.
There is no actual judgment. There is no actual punishment. There's no actual consequences for them to learn from. So they're going to do it again. They're going to be repeat offenders. Whether they get caught doing it again or not. They got away with it the first time. They're going to do it again.
Don't care if they get caught.
They really don't care if they get caught because, I mean, they'll probably get a book deal out of it. It'll probably be a trial. They'll probably fuck around and get a movie.
Exactly.
You know, they're going to gain something from it while we lose something. And I don't want to see any more Brandt jeans accepting awards. I just don't.
And you know what? I thought when you said I don't want to see any more, I actually thought you were leaning in another direction where you were going to say I don't want to see. And my mind went to some of these recent movies that are coming out or that have come out, like Harriet.
Oh Lord. Yeah.
I respect the real Harriet Tubman because you know she's an icon in Black history.
Right.
However, what they are doing with Harriet Tubman, I don't respect.
They are tweaking a lot of shit. Why are they always fucking with history? They always got to try to change some shit to suit them.
That's the answer to the question.
Like, come on. Let the real be the real.
They're doing it so that way, if they go see the movie, they can feel comfortable with what they're seeing because think about it like this. They're the ones who are bankrolling the movie because never was there any big old black slave catcher that they asked, well, what are you going to do with the money if you actually hunt down a slave? Go fuck me some white women.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what that would have been. They'd have been like that. They fucking all our shit. We finna fuck some of theirs.
But the question is this. Who in the world is actually going to give a big old black dude that much freedom at that time in history?
None.
That's my point.
Not a noun. Not a noun. If they had it their way, we'd be born. The moment we born, they would have some many motherfucking shackles for our feet and hands. I mean, that's the way they did it back then, and I'm telling you, they are pissed off because they cannot do it like that anymore. They feel betrayed and everything else because it, quote-unquote, ended. It didn't end.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of a term called drapetomania?
I have.
Drapetomania is supposedly a sickness devised it was a psychologist who came up with the term. It was a term to indicate that black people were supposedly ill if they escaped from slavery. And they suffered from drapetomania.
Oh my God. What kind of bullshit? Who Who was smoking? Who was smoking crack when they did? What psychiatrist? He or she need to put down the meth or the crack or the blow.
Back in the 1800s.
Whatever the fuck he was on then, he shouldn't have been on. Cause that's some bullshit.
When I heard that shit, I was like, wow. There's actually a term for that bullshit.
Hell, they coming up with more terms for shit that ain't about shit. They're always doing it. But that's their control and power.
Yep.
We're gonna say this is an illness because they don't want to be held captive. What kind of bullshit is that?
See, for some dumb reason, they thought we'd want to be held captive. Like, really? For what?
Why? Motherfucker, you whooping us.
Right.
You raping our mothers, aunties, cousins. Who the fuck wants that? Like, common sense has to play a part some damn where. Because these motherfuckers ain't using it.
There and that.
Them motherfuckers ain't using it. They're not thinking. They don't care to think.
See, for
They
some
just
reason,
run with shit.
I like to say it like this sometimes. They think, like, the relationship between black people and white people is like an abusive relationship.
Wow.
And the white people are the abusers who feel like we can't do anything without them. And then whenever we finally do something without them, they get pissed off in their feelings.
Well, yeah, but I mean, shit, we were the ones doing, our ancestors were the ones doing everything for them. So what fucking sense does that make?
Right.
Like I say, none of this shit makes sense. And it's never going to make sense to a logical person because, I mean, using reasonable deduction, you're going to sit there and pick that shit apart and be like, you motherfuckers done lost your motherfucking mind. I'm not stupid.
The thing is, as you said, using reasonable deduction.
Yeah.
Using reasonable deduction. Not only that, using reasonable deduction.
I mean,
we should never want to forgive shit. Ever. We should never want to forgive a motherfucking thing that they have put us through. Ever in this fucking life.
Hell, if you end up on the wrong side of town, you gonna get abused and get mistreated, and they gonna feel like you owe them an apology for being there.
I'm sorry, I'm in your part of town, Mrs. Charlie. Yeah, right.
But it just does not make sense, and we are, let's say this, the people in this world that are not using their entire brain to think thoughts all the way through before they act on them, those are the people who are tearing America apart. Those are the people who could care less about America and those living in it. And it's not even the foreign countries that's doing this. It's our own people in America.
Well, see, you gotta understand this. Most of the people in America don't care about America to begin with.
Yeah.
They care about their portion of it.
Right. But it's just senseless. And we've lost too many people behind this racist bullshit. We've lost too many people behind accidentally on purpose shit. So it needs to stop. Because I'm telling you, I don't want to see no more motherfuckers taking awards for forgiving their killer. Forgiving their brother's killer or sister's killer or whoever. I just do not want to see that again. That shit turns my stomach. It makes me sick to my stomach. Literally.
And see, the thing is, that was the biggest display of weakness that we've ever seen.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
That to me was about as ridiculous as well, actually, it was honestly more ridiculous if you really think about it. It was more ridiculous than there was a case where a white dude somehow set up a black dude to get in trouble some years back. The black dude got out of jail, and somehow him and the white dude ran into each other, and he forgave him. Now, to me, this is just me talking out loud. If I forgive someone who set me up to go to jail, there's only one reason I'm forgiving him.
Okay.
Payback.
Ooh. Okay. I see you. All right now. Oh my gosh. Richard, do you know how long we've been on the line?
Oh, wow.
We are going into 97 minutes and 10 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're going to have to pick this up another time. But you know, as always, I enjoy having you on all the time. And you know, you are more than welcome to come back anytime because we get into these conversations and we forget all about time.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And you guys, my listeners, thank you for being patient. I know this was a long one, but this was a very hot topic. Very hot topic. And the next time you want to call in, you guys call in 318-315-3971. Facebook, everyone on Facebook, you guys look up Richard Ogbu. He is a YouTuber on Facebook. If you want to hear more of Richard, go over there. And you guys, we be talking about some shit, some real shit. And this is stuff that needs to be said. But I appreciate all my listeners. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the respect. And thank you for your support. Because that's what makes this happen. Without you guys supporting, without you listening, there would be no On One Radio. And I really do appreciate you all. And it is a Monday night, and I know we ran long, but hey, this was a goodie. This was a very good topic. And so hopefully I'll see you guys on Wednesday night at 9. Yes, Wednesday night at 9. I will be going live on a broadcast. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to my talk show podcast. I wish you the best, and don't allow anyone to fuck up your vibes or sell you a wood nickel. This has been Let's Talk, and the topic for tonight was Brandt receives an award for hugging his killer, his brother's killer. So until next time, you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you soon. I have been your host, Tony Williams.